Alright, so hello everybody. Alright, this is the next video. This is section 10.4, looking at hyperbolas. So on your left there, we have the two equations for a hyperbola. One has the x variable first, and the second one has the y variable first. Please note this should be an h. I just wrote it really poorly. Actually, you know, I can just go back in here and rewrite it, and now it looks 1,000 times better. Alright, so remember, just like for the ellipse and circle, it needs to be in standard form first. Once it is in standard form, you can then start deducing information. So first thing you can deduce is the center. So remember, just like the ellipse and the circle, all you have to do is change those signs, make that H positive, make that K positive as well. Alright, so change those signs. If it was a positive, make it a negative. If it was a negative, make it a positive. Moreover, if x comes first, remember the graph of the hyperbola is going to open side to side. If the y comes first, the parabola is going to open up and down. So let's take a look at this example here. I have y minus 1 squared over 25 minus x plus 3 squared over 16 equals 1. Since the y value comes first, we know that the graph then is going to open up and down. Again, we're going to go ahead, we're going to change then those signs to get our center. So our center then is going to be -3, 1. Now to determine our movement, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take then the square root of 25, which is 5. So since it's underneath the y, that is going to move then up and down. We're also then going to take the square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4. So since it's underneath the x, that means it's going to move then left and right. All right, fantastic. So now let's go ahead then, and let's start to graph this guy. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start adjusting our screen here. We have a negative center of -3, 1. We're going to be going up 5 units, down 5 units. All right, so I kind of want to scoot this up a bit, and we're going to be moving left and right 4 units. Okay, so we look good. So let's go ahead then. Let's get our screenshot here so I can draw on this. Alright, so I'm looking at -3, 1. Here will be my center. Now, since the 25 was underneath the y, that means we're going to move up 5 units. So that's going to put us then at the point 16, which is there. We're then also going to move down 5 units, which is right there. There it goes. We're going to move then. Square root of 16 is 4, so 4 units to the left. And then 4 units to the right. Okay. Now remember, this is where it starts to get a little bit weird. We're going to go ahead. We are going to construct a box. When we construct said box, it's going to come down like this. If I could draw a straight line, that would help tremendously. Man, I am really failing here at drawing the straight lines. Okay, let's clean that up a little bit. Okay, and come down. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, clean that up. Clean that up. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead then. Now that we construct the box, that means then we can go ahead and construct then our asymptotes. So remember, our asymptotes are going to go from the corner through the center to the other corner. So in other words, we're getting a nice diagonal there. And then we're going to construct the same diagonal going in the other direction, through the corner, through the center, to the other side. Now these then in the green, those are our asymptotes. Okay, so those are our asymptotes. Now, to get then the graph, since y is first, that means that the graph is going to open up and down. So the graph then is going to have a vertex there and go up again against those asymptotes. So just like that then, so the graph then is in the pinkish purple, whatever you want to call it. Now, I do want to re-emphasize, remember we talked about this with ellipses, okay? The vertex, the foci, and the center all are going to lie on the same line. In this case, it's going to be our transverse axis. All right, so my vertice is right there and right there. Now, I haven't found my focus yet, but remember, they got to be inside the parabola, so they're going to be somewhere on that line right there. Okay, very cool. All right, so let's close out of this and go back to our work then, now that we have the graph and kind of an idea of what's going on. Okay, let's pull that back up. All right, so let's go ahead then. Okay, let's then come up with our vertices. All right, so as we said, the vertices are going to have the same x value as our center. So those are going to be then -3. Now, we're building from the center, so they're going to start at 1. Since it's moving along the y, my apologies, let's get it back there. It's going to move just like we did in the graph. Good Lord. Okay, it's going to move up 5 and down 5. So these are the points that we plotted for the vertices: -3, 6, and -3, -4. So those were my two vertices. Okay. Now, while we're here, we might as well do the length of the transverse axis. So the transverse axis, okay, remember, that is going to be the length between vertice to vertice. All right, so that's going to be then 2 times distance from the vertex to the vertex to the center, so 2 times 5 in this case, which is going to be then the 10, okay? Now, let's move then along and let's get then the foci, okay? So the foci, remember the formula for the foci, okay, is going to be c squared equals then a squared plus b squared. So it's just like the Pythagorean theorem. I keep bumping it, I apologize. All right, so c squared then is going to equal 25 plus 16. So c squared then is going to be 41, if I did my arithmetic correct, which means then c equals then the square root of 41. Now, mind you then, that's going to be moving square root of 4 units up and square root of 41 units down. Now, remember, the foci are going to have the same x value as our center, so that's going to be then -3. It's going to be the y value. Now we're starting at the center, so it's going to be then 1 plus the square root of 41 and 1 minus then the square root of 41. Now if you want to get decimal approximations of that, that's perfectly fine, but you can leave it in that radical. And then just know square root of 41 is somewhere between 6 and 7, so if you when you plot that, you can go ahead and move that out as well. Now, the last thing we need then is the asymptotes, okay? So the asymptotes then, okay, you're going to have y, you're going to have some space, you're going to have plus or minus, leave a fraction, and then you're going to have x times, and then because, again, we are off center. Now, again, it's going to be what's underneath the y, so underneath the y in this case is that 25. So the square root of 25 then is the 5. So that's going to be then your numerator. Over then, let's go back up here to the equation. 16, square root of 16 is 4. So that's going to go ahead then, and that is going to be then your denominator. And then what's going to go with the x and y's is going to be your center. So we determined earlier that my center was -3, 1. We're going to change those signs to be y plus 3 and then x minus then the 1. And there's then our two asymptotes, and you can leave it in that form. That is perfectly fine. All right, so that then concludes our review for asymptotes, or asymptotes, hyperbolas. All right, please feel free to email me if you do have questions.